Hello and welcome to Wingin It. So I've got some gameplay here today featuring the European expansion, and joining me in this game I've got Groovenstein. How are you doing today, Groovenstein?
Flan, I am fantastic. I am reading this name here on the champ of the birds.
Yeah.
Cyanocita cristata. Like this, it sounds like something on an Italian menu. Sounds like an appetizer, you know.
I think these are all named after actual birds, but I've never actually looked them up. So
okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna say I think these are all named after actual Italian menu items. So.
Well, that might be the case as well, but yeah, we'll look it up and see. But yeah, like I said, we'll be doing some European expansion gameplay. So we did a similar kind of video. It's probably a few months ago now, before the expansion came out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess this will just be similar to that. So pretty laid back. As you'll see, you'll be showing both screens here. Be able to kind of follow along. We'll be talking to each other as we're going through it. And yeah, I guess just kind of hopefully getting some interesting new expansion birds that we can talk about, and yeah, some interesting strategies as well.
Yeah, let's try to maybe stay away from the OP this time. I know somebody in the comment last time said, it's like, okay, great, you got OP birds, like let's see how you do with crap birds. That's much more interesting.
Oh, I mean, I completely agree. Like it absolutely wasn't planned that way last time. It's just kind of luck of the draw, but like you say, I think it is more interesting if we can avoid them. So fingers crossed that will happen this time. I'll get the invite sent out. And
all right.
Yeah, let's see what we have to go with. So, that is what I like to see. That is what I like to see. Some interesting European expansion birds for sure. So this black woodpecker, I know kind of everyone and their dog has got an opinion on the woodpecker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of I don't know, maybe not polarizing. Maybe it's not quite polarizing, but it's definitely got some there's like some people who are like, it's okay, or maybe it's a bit expensive or whatever, and some people just think it's the cat's. Well, I guess I'll go with meow. I was gonna say something else, but
no, I think you're right. It is. I feel like it's everyone either loves this bird and thinks that it's super overpowered and kind of, really obviously strong, getting all those worms, particularly early in the game. And then there's other people on the other end of the spectrum who just think it's terrible. You're never going to get that many worms with it. It's too expensive. So I think I fall somewhere more towards the former. So I think this is a really strong bird, particularly in the opening hand. There are weaknesses, and in some situations, it's not going to be as strong. Prime example being this one with no worms in the feeder. So a little bit rough there, a little bit rough, because obviously, you need the worms there to be able to not only play it with the 2 worm cost, but then obviously make the most out of that power as well. So yeah, it's a tricky one. I think I probably would look to keep it, just because there's not really any other great options. The Dunnock, I've had some success with that, but I think it is one of those, if you play it too early, your opponent is just going to really be staying away from the grass and finding points elsewhere, so you maybe aren't going to get so many points from that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if they were, if I end up like running a full tuck or whatever, then that bird is basically worthless.
Yeah. I think it's one of those where I might look to play it round 2 if I can see that my opponent's building something up. But yeah, if it's kind of not obvious, and like you say, you could easily go for a wetland engine or a forest engine, or even just some kind of hybrid where you're not necessarily laying eggs all the time. That is kind of the danger of playing this kind of bird too early. So in the tray, obviously, not really the kind of wetland options I look for at the moment. But again, the grey heron, that's I think that's another one where people either love it or hate it. Obviously you can push the wetlands out a little bit more early on, but you don't get that strong brown power. So a little bit of a tricky one to work with, I think.
Yeah, well, but unfortunately for you, I mean, you don't really have a wetland option.
Nope.
Like, and the kind of the scenario that people talk about with that gray heron is like, I mean, you can use it in a in a desperate situation. As far as your wetlands or your card drawing ability is concerned, you're kind of in a desperate situation.
Yep.
There's also, I think I saw there were a ton of fish in the feeder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe you look to do that. I don't know, but or maybe you just, maybe you keep the woodpecker. You pick up the screech owl and like keep the woodpecker in the rail.
Yeah.
Pick up the screech owl, and you'd have to spend a couple turns trying to get that wetlands down, but you do get 2 brown power birds down, and then you can probably get the rail down and get that feeder moving like you need it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of seems like the way to go, I think.
Yeah, I think that feels like the key certainly is to kind of get that feeder cycled around as quickly as possible. Certainly, I think the screech owl is definitely one I was looking at, and I think maybe I can play that, and even if I have to keep some extra cards, I can discard those and maybe just try and get the feeder recycled a little bit more quickly. And I mean, kind of a bird like the kingrail, that's where the black woodpecker is going to come in really strong, because I could feed potentially 2 worms to this kingrail. And I might get that in a single activation from the woodpecker if I get lucky with how the bird feed is set up. So we'll take a look at the bonus card. Ooh. Now viticulturist probably is the one to go for, because when you've already got 1 there in the woodpecker, pretty easy to find a second one throughout the rest of the game. So that feels pretty safe there. Okay.
I know it's tough. I guess the one thing like that would kind of be, maybe pushing me a little bit more in favor of the rail too, is it does help you with that third end around.
Yes. Something to bear in mind at least.
Yeah, and just given you have no other wetland options, like you're gonna be taking that screech out. Yeah, I think.
Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. So I think here's my plan. I'm gonna keep an extra card so I can pick up the screech owl, and then if that's my first forest bird, I can try and discard and get the bird feeder reset, and hopefully get this woodpecker down. Kind of another thing I'm thinking about, it's a minor thing, but if I can reset the bird feeder and get rid of a load of worms with the woodpecker and then use the screech owl, maybe slightly increases the chances of getting some cached food. It's a little thing, but if I get even 1 from that screech owl, I'd probably be happy throughout the whole game. So I think I'm happy with that. It feels a bit slow, but it's something at least. And I think once it kind of gets going, it hopefully should be able to get some card and some food and move from there. So, a lot more promising for you there, I think.
Yeah. Now, see, unfortunately, that screech owl would be brilliant for me.
Right.
With that pileated woodpecker. So I mean, certainly it's like I think definitely keeping the merganser.
Yeah.
None of these other ones I think are worth keeping. I have no forest bird, but it's always that dilemma with the woodpecker, where if you don't have another cavity nest bird, I mean, I think what I ought to do, right? If I do something like this, where it's like, okay, I get the merganser down, draw some more cards, and I mean, there's a decent chance I'll pick up another cavity nest bird, and be able to use that woodpecker's power, because it's always so tricky with that, where you don't have another cavity nest, and I might be praying for that screech owl to stick around.
Yep.
But then of course I have to think, okay, well if it doesn't, then I think that's about the only route I can do is play the merganser. It's like if I see the screech owl there, right? If the screech owl stays, I pick it up in an instant.
Yeah.
but once I see you pick up the screech owl, then unless something worth drawing comes up, I think my plan would be to get the Merganser down, start to pick up some cards, and hope to get a cheap forest bird or something I can use to kind of start building out that forest and hopefully make use of that woodpecker. I mean, even if I can't, I'm sure at some point I can discard it if I want to go that route.
Yep.
Now we get into the. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I didn't know if you had anything to add there.
I think I kind of agree with how you're approaching that. Like you said, kind of good forest bird, good wetland bird. None of the others really stand out. You kind of have the same issue as me in that there's no worm, so. If there's a worm in the feeder, you kind of grab that straight away, and you're reasonably well set. But I think you can feel safe spending a few turns going for cards. Like you say, maybe you find something cheaper, or maybe by the time you've kind of got them against down and drawn a few cards, then there is a worm in the feeder. So I think you can afford to be a bit patient there and kind of see what happens.
Yeah. Now this is kind of an interesting choice because I'm like you with the viticulturalist, right? I'm halfway to this one, but the ecologist is usually, I mean, it's basically a guaranteed or pretty much guaranteed 4 and a very feasible 6. I mean, it's not quite the oologist level, but right. It's often it's a definitely a doable 6. So I think that makes sense. Otherwise, I have to play 3 more fish birds to beat that. Which I don't know. Yeah, I think I think I'm leaning ecologist.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had, obviously if I had a second fish bird, well then I think that would certainly tip it. But I think I'm going to go the ecologist route. What do you?
Yeah. I think it feels like the safer pick. Like you say, I kind of see ecologist as that guaranteed 4 in sort of 90-95% of cases, and then maybe another 10%, 20% of the time you get 3 habitats, so you get 6 points, and kind of in the real edge cases you can get 8 points, 10 points from that, but really kind of much more likely to get the 4 or the 6. And fishery manager, I don't know, I find that's a really difficult to max out unless you get some of those double birds, and even in that case it needs a lot of food. So certainly I think I'd be going ecologist here. Like you say, that kind of safer 4 points. You feel pretty sure of yourself getting that, and I think 4 points from a bonus card, I think you could be happy with that.
Sure. Oh yeah. All right. Well, let's get this going then.
Let's do this. Let's get this show on the road. So, as I said, I will be going for the screech owl, and let's wait and see. Ooh, okay.
What do we got? Wilson Snipe.
I might be looking at that if you don't take it.
Yeah, that goes with there's a couple things. Couple things here. The question, of course, for me is do I?
Yeah. Do you go out of your way to grab it when you've already got a pretty nice wetland bird already that you might look to get down first? That's the question.
Right. And it's not with that snipe, if you start dishing out extra cards, right, I'm fine with that too. Right. Yep. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and because I'm really wanting that kind of cheap food bird.
Exactly. Yeah. I think this is one of those, like you say, even if I take the snipe, I'm going to be helping you as well, and that's always welcome. So, when you've got a good wetland bird, you want to get that down first, so that at least, you're not just drawing that one card, you are at least giving yourself the chance to see a few more cards, and maybe you get something better. You're still looking for that cheap forest bird, so that could still come your way. So
yeah, it's a little trickier with these first two end of rounds. Although I've already got a strong lead on the second one. But I mean, yeah, still, it's like I gotta see cards right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, I think that snipe is tempting enough for me. So I'm just gonna keep revealing good cards, am I?
Yeah, rule 16 in full effect here.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and grab that one.
Absolute no-brainer. especially if you expect that I'm going to be giving you some free cards. That's going to be very easy to play, I think, later in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Now that Swift is that's kind of a mandatory keep, I think, just with the woodpecker. And it's like, even if I don't use that brown power very much, just those three cavity nest spaces, plus it's a single food. Yeah,
that feels smart. And certainly I think compared to the Bruce Blackbird, that is certainly the one I'd be looking to keep. So okay, now I kind of have some tricky timing,
soul searching.
Yeah. Well, it's all about order, right? Because I could play the Great Child now, but then I'm using my only worm, and there's no worms there. Plan A was kind of get this woodpecker down as soon as possible. I might have to try and shift that and get this snipe down, because then if I am getting some extra cards, that gives me more options for discarding and resetting. So I think at least now I'm going to be grabbing this rodent and getting this creature down. So it's a very slow start, this, for me. One turn gaining a single card, another turn gaining a single card, and then a turn gaining a single food. Like, it's not what you want to see, but it's kind of just how this has worked out with this bird feeder and with the cards I've got.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking, like, okay, so I saw you pick up the Screech Owl, I saw you grab the rodent. Like, I gotta figure you're, in probably a couple of turns here, I'm gonna see a fresh bird feeder, or at least that's my hope.
Yeah. So
I think at this point, like, I think I'm just gonna lay eggs and take some more cards. Is just kind of my thinking. I'm gonna need them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's not wasted turns. Yeah. You're drawing cards. You're seeing potentially cards that you might want to play, but even if they're not cards you want to play, they'll get used for the Imperial Eagle, or you can tuck them with the Swift at some later date. So it's absolutely not a waste. So yeah, for me, Screech Owl definitely that needs to go down as soon as possible, and hopefully get some nice rerolls here on the bird feeder.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and spend the egg.
Right. What is it going to be? Okay. Another cavity nest?
Here we go. Is this cavity nest?
They're all going to come out now. Another one.
Oh, that's...
Nice. Those are some good draw. 4 forest birds. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's epic. Yeah. All right. Well, the acorn, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
And it's that acorn woodpecker.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm kind of bummed you took that rodent.
Yeah. If that was still there, I think you'd be all over that for sure. So, right, I am gonna hopefully get a nice reroll. So, Dunnock, your time has come, and here we go. Oh, well, I got the one I was looking for, so I can feel happy with that. So, OP Screech Owl with the single roll.
Conspiracy time.
That is what you like to see.
Yeah. Well, I will take that rodent now and get the barred owl down, and
right. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Get the barred owl down, then I can. I mean, I don't need to keep this Swift around. I can.
Yeah.
With all these other cavity nest birds I have, so I can play the barred owl, chuck the Swift to get some extra food, and get that woodpecker down, I think.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And just kind of looking at this end of round goal, I'm trying to work out if you're going to be able to snipe this from me. So I think we're probably going to be. I'm certainly only going to get to 2, but I wonder if you get a nice re-roll. Obviously, you'll be looking for some worms potentially to get one of those forest birds down. So we shall see. But for now,
well, I can get the woodpecker. Yeah, I can get the woodpecker down regardless. I mean, I may have to brute force it, but it's totally worth it.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can win that first end of round goal, you get those extra points, and obviously you're getting your forest built up that little bit sooner. So certainly, yeah, that feels like it's a worthwhile time to do the brute force. And there you go, get the worm.
There you go.
Very nicely indeed. So now this is the time where you choose: do you want to gamble, or because I could pretty easily take these 2 fish and then with the woodpecker take that worm, or I could take maybe a seed and a fish and then re-roll and gamble. So
well, you don't want to. I don't think you'd want a seed, right? Like you'd want a worm for sure to get this.
I want to get this snipe down as soon as possible. So I feel like this is the safe play for now, and it does give my Screech Owl 4 opportunities, and there we go.
Oh my goodness!
Screech Owl
rigged.
Was that 2 from 2? I think now.
Rigged. All right, so then obviously get the woodpecker down.
Yeah.
Get those 6 points plus a nice setup and see what we got here. Oh.
Okay. Wow.
One-headed caliber and savvies.
That is a tray.
Yeah. I don't have a bull nest yet, but savvies is a bull nest.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I don't have any eggs right now, but I don't okay, that's fine. I mean, I can guarantee myself savvies and the cowbird, and that gives me, of course, the benefit with with the cowbird, where it's like, okay, well, how are you can rely on my woodpecker a little bit for eggs, but you're gonna have to either go grassland or get something at some point. So
right.
I think that's definitely worth ditching. Although actually, yeah, see, I here's a little micro strategy, right? I know I'm going to look at 3 cards and only keep 2. I may as well look at the deck first.
Yeah, because you've got some birds in your hand, like probably that Cooper's Hawk and the Flycatcher, not necessarily need to be ones that you'd look to play. So, yeah, makes sense.
I don't think I. Yeah.
Oh, poor Brant.
Yeah, bye, Brant.
Right, so and we got the Buick's Wren in the
Mm-hmm.
tray. I had a very interesting game recently with the Buick's Wren where it was the first time I played it.
Where you played it.
Where I actually played it. And
that's the definition of an interesting game with the Buick's Wren is when you play it.
Well, and it gave me the achievement. So the achievement where you have to play all the birds, because it was the only bird I hadn't played in however many hundreds of hours of Wingspan. And it was quite funny because I was recording, and it is a video. I've not posted it yet, but probably by the time this one goes out, that video will be up. So, I got the achievement pop up as I was recording, so that was quite a funny moment.
Nice. That now, let's see. That Willet, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm certainly okay. Let's get the food, get savvies down, and oh, well, that's nice for your.
Indeed. Hopefully, it gives me that many if I choose to go for a reroll. Oh, is that 1 centimeter off?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Rigged.
See, clearly I've got the superior owl, so what can I say? Right, now I need to think about this. I need to think about whether I don't think there's anything necessarily in the tray that I desperately want, so I probably I want to play this at some point, so I think it makes sense to do that before I go for cards next, so I can at least save the eggs. So all right. I think this is a time where I'll gamble, because the problem is if I take these 2 and then take that with the woodpecker, I'm not going to have anything for this owl, and the owl has been doing work for me so far, so I have to show faith. So here we go. There we go. That's good.
Nice.
That's very nice. So I've already got plenty of fish. I've already got cherry, so I think I will take another rodent. And there we go. This is the power of the woodpecker.
Oh yeah, and it opens up some more space for that owl too.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, not that time. Didn't work, but there you go.
It's broken.
Yeah. Needs fixing.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Get Savvy's down.
Very nice. I feel like there's going to be lots of cards flying around here. You'll certainly be wanting to use that, and I'll be using my snipe, so that'll be interesting, I think, to see. But, yeah, here we go. Hopefully something good from this King Rail. Yeah. Probably the two worst bonus cards.
Oh,
at least
boy.
like two of the worst, like 3 or 4 bonus cards, I'd say. So, yeah.
At least you have no backyard birders down.
Yeah. Yep. I don't even. I mean, like, maybe even Citizen Scientist is worth going for, just on the off chance I get like a Chaffinch or a Chiff-Chaff or something. Because, like, I can't see myself playing 5 birds that meet backyard bird. That's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Citizen Scientist, one of the few times that I'll actually pick you from a choice of 2, and it feels like the sensible pick. So we'll see. We'll see if that pays off.
Yeah. All right. Now I've got some interesting... I've got an interesting choice here, because I mean, I know you're going to be laying eggs at some point, although probably not now. I mean, you just played the rail, so you're going to be. I can expect that you're going to be drawing cards. So I think, I'm probably better off just going ahead and drawing.
Yeah, I mean, you'll want to get that cowbird down at some point, right? But like you say, you know I'm going to lay eggs at some point for the end of round. So yeah, I guess it's about whether you play it now and guarantee that you get that free egg, or if you're going to sort of take the risk and go for cards first and see if you get something better.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, right, like if I pull here let's say I pull some decent grassland bird, right? Let's say I pull like a robin or a swallow or whatever, where I can, it's like,
right.
Okay, now I can play that, and it's like, okay, draw that bird, get the food I need for it, play it, and then, be able to lay lay 3 eggs and use it. And so, yeah, I think I don't think I'm in a rush to get that cowbird down right now.
Ooh. Well, if I'm going to be doing the Citizen Scientist, then
that's right.
Ooh.
Oh my!
So many cards.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Almost sport for choice.
Yeah. I don't think I really need this. Well, the Hawk goes to those last 2 end of rounds. Do I need this white throat? I don't think so. I mean, I'm gonna be. It's like with the towhee and the cowbird, the sparrow. Like, I've got plenty of good egg-laying birds. I don't think I need that.
No, probably not. All right. Do I get a free card? Do. What's it gonna be? Well, it helps viticulturists.
Well, viticulturists,
so...
and extends out your grasslands.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly. If I find another good grassland bird, so I'm probably going to go for cards now. If I find another good grassland bird, I've already got 1 egg, so I could go for food and play them, and then lay eggs. So that's not necessarily a bad option. Yeah, we'll see. But I think certainly. Not what I'm looking for. I'm kind of tempted by this horned owl. I've already got a couple of rodents. Kind of like you were saying for your Cooper's Hawk, it does work for those last 2 end of round goals as well. So I think I will grab that.
Hey, and you know, it potentially goes to your Citizen Scientist.
Well, that's true. I always forget about those. I always forget about the hunting powers counting as well. But yeah, it's birds with any card tucked under them. So that would work as well. So yeah, very good point. And we'll see if we can get something good. No, not really. Might be worth playing, but I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man.
And you've got so many cards.
I got the Perry chicken.
The prairie chicken, yeah.
All right. So what's the frequency, Kenneth? I mean, the Tauhi, the Sparrow, I definitely want to play.
Yep.
I think probably. Grab some. Yeah, I think grab some food, get that Sparrow down, and
Yeah.
and then lay eggs, and then I can kind of start like building out that grassland.
Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of the question for you at this point is like, obviously, like you say, you've got this Tauhi, but you've got a pretty nice situation in the forest where you're getting a couple of food, you're getting some eggs, and maybe another point as well through that owl. So, you know, if you're already getting points and food from there, it's always kind of a tricky decision. You know, do I still try and get those food generating birds in the grasslands? I mean, obviously the Tauhi, it's not worth any points, and there will come a point in the game where you start to question whether that's worth it. But yeah, I mean, like, you could obviously still look to play it, but equally you've got some very nice big point birds and you know the bed sparrow as well to get some eggs as well in the grasslands. So you kind of got to choose, I guess, you know, what am I going to look to build this grasslands out with?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I've still got that, you know, that cowbird too, which
right
kind of lessens the need for for those eggs. So
yeah, I guess you need to think a little bit about the end of ground goal as well, right? Because, you know, I'm going to lay eggs once, that will get me to 2. So
right.
you've got space for 4, but at the moment not really the access to eggs that you'd like in that grass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna need something in the grasslands. Yeah. And I think there's really, it's like the cowbird sparrow difference, like it's a wash, right? Because the sparrow is going to give me an extra egg anyway. So it's like if I you know, if I play that ahead of the cowbird, okay, maybe I miss a cowbird egg, but I also gain a sparrow egg.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and because keep in mind too, like I also, okay, you've got 1 egg already. Like I also don't know what bird you might be playing in the grassland. Like it's possible you could steal that end around.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'll grab this cherry. I'll hope for a grub on the reroll.
There you go.
And see who's got the better owl. Ha!
This time at least.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird spot, but
right. And I will take that free egg for sure. And yeah, this is a tricky one. I'm half-minded because like you, I know I'm going to need to lay eggs at some point, right? So part of me is kind of thinking, go for food, do a weird bluebird into dove double play in the grasslands, and then lay eggs. It's a bit kind of, you normally don't see the dove played in the grasslands like that, but you know, if it works the next end of round goal, obviously it helps me get a few more eggs as well, potentially, if I'm going to need to lay eggs this round and also next round. So I'm kind of sold on that, and I think I still will have the food because I do want to get this owl down, of course, at least next round. I think I will still have enough food to be able to force that down if need be. So I feel fairly okay with doing this. And yet again, 4 dice with the Screech Owl No.
Ah.
It rolled every single kind of food except rodents.
Rigged.
As if to rub it in my face there, but never mind. What could you do?
All right, so let's get this. Ah!
Ooh. Don't play the wrong bird. There you go.
Yeah, no.
Much better. And yeah, I mean, now that I can see that, that's that kind of is the nail in the coffin. If I hadn't already lost this end of round, then I definitely have now. So
GG on the end of round.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that bluebird is not bad as well. It gives me a few more cavity in the spaces. So, if you are going to be hammering that woodpecker in the next couple of rounds, then I'm going to have a bit more space. So, not bad.
Yeah, and actually, how am I doing on cavity? I do have that flycatcher.
Yeah, you got one more.
Okay, well, let's
get the eggs down. Yep.
Wow. Nice.
Very nice.
Save that food because I can only get a couple right now.
Yeah. But, yeah, there we go. Get the eggs down. Lose the end of round, but at least I qualified, so that's the main thing. But here we go into the next round, and ooh. Yeah. Interesting tray.
I mean, common blackbird. How tempting is that?
Well, I was talking about the other two birds, but yeah, I saw people talking about this the other day, trying to work out what the worst bird in the expansion was, and I think someone made a very good case for the common blackbird. I don't think I've played it. Maybe it'll find its time, like the Buicks ended, but. Yeah, it just I don't really see where it fits in. It's a bit of an odd one, but
it's like it fits in when your entire hand is just hot garbage, but there's like a bunch of cherries in the feeder.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think that's the only case really where I can see it working. But okay, I'm going to go for cards. I quite like the look of this night heron. I'm going to have lots of extra food, I think. Given this woodpecker situation, so let's see what else I get. Okay, well, so I've got another tucking bird, so if I'm really going to get close on this citizen scientist, then maybe that will come in handy. But
pick up a
much better pull there for you.
Yeah, no, this is interesting because I've got all these cards.
What are you going to do with them?
What am I going to do with them? Do I want that dick sissel?
Yeah.
And then I've got a terrific grassland, and I can ditch all this crap.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Being able to turn those cards into something, you're getting the tuck cards and the eggs as well. So feels pretty good pickup.
Yeah. Now let me see. So I'm going to be ditching 3 cards on the eagle. Just gonna leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And then I think if I just draw one more time, then I'm set on drawing.
Yeah, you'll have enough, I think, to feed that Dixis and also the eagle at the same time.
Yeah. So I can. Yeah. So I think my plan is draw cards. Then I'm gonna want to play something so I can get an extra egg off that owl. I think I'll just go ahead and play the eagle then.
Yeah.
Then I can take food, and then so I'm getting both cavity eggs and kind of go out from there. So yeah. I
like it. Sounds good.
OP Meadowlark. This is good, actually. Picked up some crap. So I can.
Yeah, it's a situation where you don't want good birds. Oh no. Well, there's that fishery manager bird.
Oh, Thecla's lark.
Oh, here we go. All the good birds are coming up.
Yeah.
Too much to cope with all at once.
Oh, God, this is tough. Do I throw the lark away?
Yeah, that's another one along with the blackbird that I think has a case for being the weakest in the expansion. But here we go. Okay, meet Swan.
Oh, what can I say except
Citizen
you're welcome?
scientist? Anyone? I might actually be able to do it. that could be fun. Yeah, that's not actually bad. You know, I probably am going to need to go for cards at least once or twice more. So if that does help with the citizen scientist at some point, so yeah, that is certainly not a bad free card to be grabbing. So I think I will stick with my plan of getting this horned owl down. So I do quite like that. Gives me the chance to get some more food, and then obviously if I can get some worms with the woodpecker as well, all the better. So but yeah, that meets Swan. Very, very interesting.
Nice. Yeah. Now, see, I'm basically like I'm. Once you get that owl down, I don't even care about the EOR anymore. Not that I was paying it too much attention anyway.
No, I think you, like you mentioned with this eagle, you want to get it down for the egg anyway to get rid of the egg off the barred owl, but you need it for this end of round, and if that's your only platform nest, well, you qualify and you get the points. So I think that's the priority, really.
Yeah, and I don't, as far as this, yeah, okay, so eagle, which is nice with my ecologist, that's going to be a big old play.
Yeah.
Towhee go by, meadowlark go by, nuthatch go by.
Yeah. I mean, there's your 4 points, right? There's your 4 points from the ecologist that you want, and I think you can be happy with that. Obviously, like we kind of said at the start, if you get that next column and you get the 6 points, you take it. But I think 4 is still very good. So right, let's see what we can get. Oh, well, I'm probably not even going to bother getting rid of a card because I don't need to. I can just take these 2 and then get the 3 worms. So.
See, and that was smart to take that that die, because now they're all the same and you can re-roll for that woodpecker. right
I think we're on a different page here, Groove.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, reasonable people can disagree. All right.
Absolutely, there we go. There's one. I got the card I need on the owl. That's going to help with the citizen scientist. So sorry, other screech owl, you're not going to get a chance this time. But you've done your work. Two rodents is more than I would expect from you, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got those 3 forest birds. How do I want to? Trying to decide, like, do I want to? Gonna need food. That food is not great for me.
Nope.
I think maybe, do I want to put that? Do I actually want to play the hummingbird up in the forest, and then I can maybe ditch one of these cards to pick up, a bunch of extra food?
Yeah, it's not a bad option because you are only getting 2 food a turn right at the moment, which is
and unfortunately I don't have enough to play this flycatcher.
Yeah, that would be the better play, obviously with the right nest type as well. But yeah, obviously helps with the next end of round goal potentially as well. So not a completely outrageous choice to get that in the forest, I think.
No, I mean, I've got... Yeah, I mean, I think the Dick Sissel, like, that's something where I can still... it's like I could get that down, I mean, early round 4 and just hammer it, right? And it's still worth playing. So I think maybe building out my forest right now kind of makes the most sense, where it's going to get me as much food as possible to kind of get potentially some of these big point birds down. It's going to help me with that last end of round. So I think the hummingbird up there makes the most sense.
All right.
Elsie is somewhere. Elsie is smiling.
If she's watching, she's smiling. So
She's not watching. She's doing homework, I think, doesn't she? Isn't she a professional homework doer?
oh, you'll have to ask her. Yeah. All right. I need to. I've been thinking about this while you were talking. I'm trying to think. What order I want to do these things in, because obviously the Smoots one, I think that is certainly going to go down. But I'm trying to think about. I think the Swift maybe as well. I kind of think like you, I might be in a similar position where if I'm kind of going to get the Smoots one down, go for cards a few times, obviously get some points there, but then have some leftover cards useful to be able to tuck those. So, I mean, at this point, I might even be able to just kind of forget everything else and just go Mute Swan and a White-throated Swift and kind of just swap between those two. So, I think certainly at least getting this Mute Swan down feels like a good decision. So yeah, I will do that at least. And yeah, I mean, for the end of rounds, maybe I need to lay eggs, maybe I don't. I think at the moment I'm obviously in the stronger position, so I can maybe wait and see until that last turn if you've got another platform list down or not, and kind of.
Oh right, yeah, because you've got one on the rail as well.
Yeah, I've already got two down there. So at the moment, yeah, you can't catch me. But again, I don't know what you've got. Maybe you go for food here and you manage to play a platform nest and then lay eggs in it. I've always got to kind of be prepared and be ready for that sort of situation.
Yeah, well, see, and I'm looking like it's interesting because I'm not really looking to like play. It's the feeder, like you have to work with what you got, right? So it's like, okay, I wasn't thinking, oh, I better get this egret down, but like the food is perfect for it. Or at least not necessarily. I don't know if necessarily I'm going to get it down this round, but
yeah.
And actually, now that I see you put the Mute Swan down, this Goldfinch is a bit more appealing as well.
Lots of options.
Yeah, lots of options, but not necessarily any super great ones. Just because because of the distribution of food in the feeder, I'm kind of stuck with what's in there.
Yeah.
And I do have to lay eggs one turn. So how to maximize that? I don't think there's any way I'm not gonna get this Dick Sissel down. So yeah, I mean, I think just take some food for later. Shoot, let's see, I've only got the one cavity space on the owl. So
yeah, I guess it's a case where if you go for food, like you say, you've only got the one space, so you can go for food once, you get the eggs, but then probably that's if you go for food a second time, you're probably not going to want to be laying those eggs, and at that point, you might not be getting any points at all from that forest, which, yeah, considering the setup, it is sort of set up at the moment to get food and points at the same time, so would be a bit of a miss there.
Yeah, I mean, although I could, like, it does kind of I mean, there's some appeal to the flycatcher, maybe. Man, I don't know.
It's tricky. I'm looking at your position, and this to me feels like a classic case of so many cards in the hand, so many choices that it almost becomes overwhelming. Like, I'm kind of in the luxurious position of actually only having 4 cards, and 2 of them I'm never going to play in a million years. So, I don't really have a whole lot of thinking to do. Whereas for you, it's like, okay, do I go for food, and then which bird do I play, and do I try and go for the end of round goal, or do I try and hit this bonus card? Like, you've got so many kind of different variables at play, and it is hard to kind of work out sometimes, what the best option to go for is.
Yeah, well, let me see. So if I I mean, how many? I got 8 turns left. How many of them am I gonna play birds? Like,
Yep.
maybe 3.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I think. Honestly, I don't even know if I do want to play this egret. Like, I think
No. I mean, like,
yeah.
I think what you could do, right? You know, obviously, like you said, the feeder at the moment is not set up for the dick thistle, but it would be expensive, but you could still get it down. You know, if you're gonna go for the end of round here, at least qualify, you are gonna have to lay eggs at some point. So if you go for food, you play the dick thistle, you lay eggs, you get the extra tuck and the extra egg, you clear out a space on the cavity nest as well when you play the dick thistle. So it means maybe one more turn of going for food if you do want to play a bird. So it would be expensive because, like you say, you know, there's only one seed, there's no worms there, but you would still at least be able to get it down.
Yeah, so I guess in that scenario, like, I'd have to, and I'd have to activate the hummingbird to do that. Right. So yeah, like, take a random food, chuck, I don't know, and chuck the hawk.
Yeah, something you're never gonna play.
Yeah. Right, chuck the hawk. And then, yeah. I think I'm sold.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I'm doing it. So
there's no going back now. But yeah, it's always a horrible feeling when you have to pay so much food for a single bird like that. But it kind of it helps 2 problems at once in that it helps get rid of the cavity nest egg that you need the space for, and then it also helps with the end of round goal and getting more points for that, knowing that you are going to have to lay eggs. So
and it's not like I need the extra cards or whatever, and I'll have I'll be able to get the the food that I need to play something. So it's really I don't think it's really a waste.
No. Right.
All right, citizen scientist.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I've still got this night heron. I'm still kind of tempted to try and play it because it obviously is a lot of points, and kind of does help in a way. Maybe with this card draw, if I'm going to draw cards a couple of times, I can either save an egg and get the extra card, obviously, but I could still potentially with this power maybe get a bit of food if I need to. So I'm kind of tempted. I think this is, again, like I said, the position I'm in where I'm winning the end of round goal, and thanks to that extra egg, I could actually still play that this round and be okay. So I think I am going to go for that. Hopefully, okay, not as good a reroll, but still workable.
No rodent and 1 grub.
No rodent and one grub, which is not great, but it is better than nothing. And Screech Owl, man, so good early on in the game, and it's just been completely a huge letdown ever since then.
Yeah, they're like, that owl is like, man, I'm way overperforming here. I can just check out the rest of this game.
Yeah, I think that's what's happened.
All right, spin the egg off the cavity nest.
Very good.
Yeah.
Nice. And I will go for this night heron. So that's probably maybe on the off chance that I get a couple more viticulturalist birds, maybe the cherry's going to come in handy. So you never know. We'll see. It's unlikely at this point in the game, but
yeah.
Okay. And then I'm guessing you're laying eggs as well here.
Yep, and I'll just distribute them.
So yeah, pretty nice grasslands really. You get, was that 6 points? So I think you could be quite happy with that at this point in the game.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, final round. Here we go. What have we got?
All right, Sparrowhawk.
Sparrowhawk.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm set on cards, so that's all you.
Yeah.
Just a question for me of like, okay, if I play, I mean, I'm looking at I'm looking at your setup. I figure, all right, well, you're going to be drawing cards. Probably now.
Right.
And maybe you get. Yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at one more forest bird. So, okay, so that's 3 points potentially, or I can get maybe do I want to get this spoonbill down? Because really, it's I'm probably, it's like I'm looking at, but then I'm getting 5 eggs a turn in my grassland, but but then when you factor in the additional egg space and the egg cost on the bird, it's like, so I'm looking at, I'm looking at 1 food turn, 1 play 1 bird, and then run my grassland probably.
Yep.
That woodcock is tempting.
Yeah.
Because that,
I think the spoonbill's good though. Like you said, it helps the ecologist as well. So you do get that 6 points and the bonus card to go alongside it. So
so basically the spoonbill, right, is 7 points plus the bonus card, and the woodcock is 10, right? Because it's 7 for the play and then 3 towards the end of round, assuming you don't do some like kinglet or something, right? So so it's like what do I think? It's the classic, like, what's the bonus card worth, right? So so I'm basically betting 3 points, which, I mean, I don't know. What can I hit? I could hit Prairie Manager, I could hit Wetland Scientist, I could hit Rodentologist or Falconer. Even something like Omnivore, it's wouldn't be a total waste. So yeah, maybe. But then again, even those things that I'm naming are only 3 points.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not a whole lot that kind of comes to mind as being worth a huge amount more than that. Like, you've already got Ecologist, which is one of the better ones in this position.
Right.
Obviously, Ecologist would be nice. That would get you 6 kind of either way with the 9 birds. So I think there's a few, but like not a whole lot that comes to mind that's necessarily getting a whole lot more than the 3 points you get guaranteed. And certainly there's quite a few there that you could draw and get nothing on.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like super high upside, really.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I just I'm not going to be able to get enough food to use this egret. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, let's see, I know there's a seed already in there. Yeah, so it's like, as long as there's at least 1 worm, then then I'm okay. So there we go.
Very nice. Yeah, you can even skip the hummingbird if you don't want to be giving me cherries at this point.
Yeah, although, see, it's always a question giving the food at the end, because I actually could spend it to get the egg. But is that really worth it? I mean, what if that's the one food that pushes you over the top or something, right? So
yeah, I mean, I think best case scenario for you is I don't need that cherry and you get a free egg from it. But kind of, I don't know, if I need a cherry, I can just use the night heron and that costs me a point as well. So I don't think it is going to help you that much in giving it away. I think I would certainly be looking at skipping here.
That's always the question, though. It's always, and I think what is the kind of approximate value of a food, right? Is 3 points or something, and it just seems like not really.
It's tricky.
Not really worth it.
It is tricky late in the game. I think it's always, for me in that position, is if I need that cherry desperately so that I can play a bird and really get a huge benefit from it, then yeah, I'm going to go for it. But if it's something minor, like getting an extra egg, I feel like more often than not that just comes back to bite you, and you just think, oh, why did I do that? You know, that got me 1 point, but it allowed my opponent to score like 6 more points than they otherwise would have done. So.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a, you know, as you play and you you know, you kind of try to pay attention, like you kind of spot where some maybe your leaks are, the things you could improve. And I think I am a bit too kind of, that I'm like reflexively gracious. It's like here, or generous, like here, yeah, well, I can get a point off it, but I don't, you know, what's the upside? So yeah.
All right, moment of truth. What can I get? Absolutely nothing good from the deck, but
a dog turd.
Yeah, it's okay. They're all going to get tucked anyway. Now, one thing that has been playing on my mind is whether I can make this Sparrowhawk work. So, you know, at the moment, way I've just done that there, I've got 4 birds with tuck cards. If I go for the wetlands again, I can pick the snipe as the bird to tuck, so that gives me 5. The Sparrowhawk was 6, and then maybe if I play this white-throated Swift, that's going to be the 7th, and that maxes out Citizen Scientist by some miracle. And obviously the Sparrowhawk as well, you know, it's a few points on its own. It helps with the end of round as well. So kind of like what you're thinking with this Woodcock, if you get a few extra points from the end of round, I think you can make a case for it. And yeah, I mean, this is a case where if I could see how many cards were in your hand, I would certainly not feel too bad about being you know, very generous with this Wilson Snipe, because I don't think there's any way that you're gonna burn your way through all of those cards.
Right. Yeah, and that's, I really wish you could see it. Like that's a bit of a flaw, I think. But
yeah, it's odd because you can see it when you have the birds in hand end of round goal. So there clearly is some kind of like, you know, line of code in there to track that, but then they choose not to show you. And it's weird because when you play in the physical game, it's one of the most obvious things because people are holding it in their hand. But
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
that's my rant on the on the number of cards in hand. Done with.
Now, if I didn't have anything worth playing, that would have been a really nice get, actually, because I could have dumped that and then
double tucks,
you know, hammered. Yeah, but still, it's like it's only best case is 6 points. So
yeah, and egg space again is kind of the problem there. You know, you'd be getting like 7 eggs a turn, and you just don't really have the space for that. So
yeah,
I think that Woodcock is a good play.
So you're looking at, I mean, right now, like, what if you played the Swift and then just laid eggs 3 times? Like, what's that worth? Right? I mean, it's worth 1, and then you've got 2 food that you can chuck. Plus, so because I wonder if that versus you know
that's what I need to work out.
Yeah, you've got to Devine this here.
Oh god, here we go in real time as well. So okay, so let's do this. This is a good exercise. We'll do it. So
maths.
So the Swift goes down. That's 1 point. 3 turns of laying eggs. I get 3 eggs. I get a tuck and an egg, and then another egg. So that's 6 points. So I do that 3 times, 18 points. I've got 2 more food. They each get turned into a point. That's 20 points, plus the 1 for the Swift is 21. So that's 21 points over 4 turns. Now, the alternative is Sparrowhawk. That gives me 3 points. Plus, I can give another 3 for the end of round. So that is 6. And then if I play... Oh, what else? I was going to go for cards, right? I could go for cards. That's another 3, so that's 9 points. I play the Swift for 1 point. That gets me to 10. I lay eggs. I get 7 points. That gets me up to 17, but it does give me 3 more from the Citizen Scientist, which gets me back to 20. So, maybe.
And what was it the other way? 21.
It was 21, I think. So. But I'm also thinking, right? I'm looking at this Montague's Harrier because if I go for cards, I can then do the same tucking thing I was going to do for the Snipe up towards the Citizen Scientist. If I use the Montague Harrier on the Dove, that is also a 5-point play, and doesn't cost food. And then play the play this. Oh, I guess I don't know, because then if I'm going to lay eggs, I'm not going to get the benefit of the dove's power.
Well, yeah, you would, right?
I'd want to do that last turn, but it could still work. You know, play the swift lay eggs.
Of course, even last turn, it's going to cost.
It's not as good. Yeah,
it's going to cost you at least one egg.
Yeah, that's true because there's going to be eggs on there. So, okay, I think the Montague's Harrier idea is out the window, but yeah, I think it does make sense to play the Swift and just lay eggs 3 times. I've certainly got the space for it. Yeah. Oh, that's so boring. That's sad.
I know, it's one of those like, all right,
yeah.
It's 1 point, but I want to do this. I had this cool idea to max out Citizen Scientist.
I think this would be way cooler, right? Play the Sparrowhawk. I go for cards. I selectively get the tuck under here, and then manage to max out the Citizen Scientist. But yeah, sometimes it is better to just, like you say, get the grass and bird down and just hammer the eggs.
Sometimes the right play is the boring play.
Yeah.
You know,
wow.
there's a term for that in poker where you like try to do the smarty pants thing instead of the regular thing. You call it fancy play syndrome. So say I got fancy play syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, I think I am a sucker for the fancy play sometimes, but
oh yeah, me too. Yeah,
I think that kind of just, like you say, just shows the value of go through doing your sums, adding up, and working it out. So I unfortunately will play the Swift and go for the eggs next 3 turns.
Now the viewers can understand why Davim sometimes does that at the end, because you can squeeze those extra points out that way. Absolutely. It could be the difference.
Absolutely, can indeed be the difference. Right. Are you just laying eggs as well? You are indeed just laying eggs. So.
Yeah, although it looks like I'm going to end up, I'm going to miss out on 2.
Oh, you are,
so actually, so that might have tipped me. In fact, I must have miscalculated it. That's going to tip me. That might have tipped me slightly in favor of the spoonbill.
Well, I think it must have been when you went for food, right? You got the 2 eggs from the woodpecker that maybe.
Oh, that's what I wasn't thinking of.
That didn't come into it, but because the spoonbill, if anything, you'd be worse off because you're spending only 1 egg, whereas when you played the woodcock, you spent 2. So you'd have had even more eggs down already.
That's right. Yeah, it would have been a problem either way. Yeah.
So, time indeed for me to get these eggs down, naturally spread them out, even though it makes absolutely no difference because you've not got Oologist, but force the habit.
All right, this is exciting stuff wherein we both just lay eggs.
Yeah. We've got the European expansion. We've got all these new bird powers. We still just lay eggs for the last few turns.
That's right. Yeah. See how many I got 1. I ended up getting 1 down. I got the Imperial down.
I got a couple. I got the Mute Swan and obviously this Woodpecker that did some very good work for me early on in the game. So if I could have had my way, this Sparrowhawk certainly would have gone down, but sadly not to be this time. But there you go.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't looked at my score. Do you want to call this game or what? Is that?
I had a little sneaky at my score earlier this round, so.
Okay.
I don't know. I think you have a clear end of round advantage. I think you've won 3 and I've won 1. I think eggs were going to be pretty close. I think tuck cards were going to be pretty close. Bird points, maybe I'm slightly going to edge it. So, and bonus cards, I think we're both kind of close on that. So I think my gut says that you've won, but it does feel like it's going to be a close one. So we will see. We will see.
All right.
Moment of truth.
Oh, wait, I gotta watch it on yours. Mine's behind.
Oh yeah, that always seems to happen. Whoever finishes the game first gets to look at the score first. But I guess slight lead there. But this is where you're going to bring it back with the end of round goals. So What's it going to be? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
It was close. 3 points in it. So good work and good game. 2 scores in the 90s. I think we can be happy with that. We didn't embarrass ourselves, which can happen sometimes when we play each other.
I mean, not from the game anyway.
No.
I mean, it's, I'm sure I ate my foot a few times, as is my want.
As is tradition. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Good game for sure. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed watching that and picked up a few things along the way. I think kind of the big thing really is seeing that thought process, certainly in that last round, doing the sums, working out, okay, what counts towards the end of round goal, how many eggs am I going to get, all that is so important. So yeah, certainly I think it's kind of a useful exercise to do that, certainly on your own. Maybe not try and doing maths when people are watching and listening in, because you're bound to get it wrong. But there you go. And yeah, thank you, Groove, for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed that with the win, of course, as well.
Yeah, good times. Now I gotta go try to win a tourney game here shortly. So
all right, that is what it's all about. So
yeah, Captain Awesome in the Blue Tit Bash.
Should be a fun one. So best of luck to you with that one. And yeah, thank you everyone for watching. And I will see you again next time.